Right, welcome back everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Before we went into the break, we were taking a look at the match between the first half highlights, Uni-Mil against Kuilsrivier. I got Nazim Adams. Nazim, we were looking at the game in the first, just before the break there, Uni-Mil against Kuilsrivier. You were saying that Kuilsrivier should speed up the ball and they should have obviously a clear game plan. I suppose the other part of my question is then, if you are the Uni-Mil coach, you want to make sure that you're staying on the front foot. Uni-Mil coach, of course, being Ishmael Dolly. What is the halftime talk now that he's giving his team?
Yeah, I think keep putting their set piece under pressure.
Yeah.
Keep mauling them, and play the ball to the forwards. Get over the advantage line, pull the defenders in, and then go wide. But don't go immediately wide. Get over the advantage line and put their set piece under pressure. I think they're struggling with their forwards, so I will play with my forwards.
If you're leading going into the second half of the game, if you're leading and if you've got a solid margin like Uni-Mil have there, do you play to increase the margin or do you play to defend the margin?
JP, the last thing you want to do is to defend the margin. You want to increase that. You want to put pressure on them. While you have them down, you want to put your foot on them and keep it there. You don't want to give them an opportunity to come back into the game.
Is that standard? Is that what you guys do when you're playing Curry Cup and Stormers as well? Is that the mentality that coaches should have?
Well, that is the mentality, but it's not always in reality. It doesn't work always like that. Because a lot of coaches will tell their teams, look, you go out there and you defend the lead. You know, let them make the mistakes and you pounce on their mistakes. But the thing is this, if they get back into the game, their tails is up and then they will come for you. So rather increase that lead.
So what about things like making sure that you keep the ball? Like it's one of those basic things.
Yeah, you have to keep the ball, you have to look after the ball. With a game like this, you need to starve them of possession. You can see Kuilsrivier, they don't get ball, so they'll get frustrated because they don't want to defend the whole time. Yeah.
Okay, well, folks, let's see if the halftime talk goes either left or right for both teams. Uni-Mil up against Kuilsrivier. Uni-Mil, of course, had home ground advantage, and we'll give you some of the results from Super League A in a minute. Let's take a look at the second half. right, there we go, folks. Ends up being a result then for Uni-Mil winning 43 points to 19 over Kuilsrivier. Nazim, your final thoughts on the game there? It looks like the halftime talk did not work for the Kuilsrivier guys, but it worked for the Uni-Mil guys.
JP, I might differ from you in that regard. I mean, Kuilsrivier scored 3 tries in the second half.
Yeah.
And it was good tries that they scored. And I mean, they kept possession, they spread the ball, and the result was 3 tries. So I don't think there was ever a chance that they're going to win the game.
Well,
I mean, to be quite honest.
It's interesting that you say that because Kuilsrivier this week take on Tygerberg, I think. And our statistics, our stats, if I remember correctly, in fact say that Kuilsrivier, on average, when they play away, they score 3 tries, 3 tries a game.
Well, so Tygerberg must expect at least 3 tries from Kuilsrivier. No, I think they played well in the second half, yeah. JP. Unfortunately for them, I mean, obviously Milnerton, they stuck to their game plan, and they just overpowered them, and it was at the end it was quite a comfortable win.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the results then from the weekend, folks, in Super League A. Of course, we are gonna take a look at the Helderberg game, but Tygerberg then, of course, going down to Villages, 32 points to 13. Hamlets went down to UWC, 45-31. Uni-Mil there, you see that win there, 43-19, and then Hamilton's with a big win over NTK, 73 points to 7. Nazim, if we look at some of those results there, NTK will be, again, very concerned with that sort of margin. Hamilton's, on the other hand, I don't know how much they will be able to take from a game like that, where they're winning with a 70-point margin.
Yeah, I agree with you, JP. I mean, for NTK to just to score 7 points in Hamilton, 73, I mean, you must really look at your season and see how you're going to improve and what you do to improve the players and the team. And on the other side, like you said, I mean, with Hamilton's, it's a big score, but you measure yourself against a team at the bottom of the log.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so that's also, you can't, it's difficult to say there's a lot of improvement in terms of Hamilton's play, but I mean, there's a good score, let's be honest.
On the other hand, UWC will be happy. They got their first points on the board this season. They had to travel away to go and play Hamlets. 45-31. Hamlets, you could see, well, obviously, with those numbers, were clearly ready for game time, playing at home, having home ground advantage. But UWC struggling a little bit so far in the season, they'll be happy to get their first numbers on the board.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just to get your 5 points. I mean, you don't want to go down. You want to get your 5 points, and those teams are both at the lower league. I mean, in the bottom half of the league. So I mean, that 5 points is going to be valuable for them at the end of the season.
The other matches, of course, Villages they played against Tygerberg this weekend. Villages had to play away from home. Tygerberg will be a little bit unhappy with that result. I saw some of that game, and looking at it, it really looked like Tygerberg were standing up for the challenge and just couldn't finish it off. Kind of, especially in that last sort of 20 minutes, they were kind of pushing Villages around a little, but they could have got more out of that game.
Yeah, maybe that is something that they can focus on for the next week, just to finish. Like you said, they create a lot of opportunities, but the key thing for them is then going forward into this week is to make sure that their opportunities count and that they get their points.
All right, folks. Well, let's see what happens when we take a look at some of the other results. Then that comes up after the break. Don't go away. We'll take a look, of course, at the other results, logs, and fixtures coming up in a sec. Don't go away. Back in a sec.